right. So I'm Jessica Anderson. I'm the marketing and communications coordinator here at the Ogden-Weber Chamber of Commerce. And I'm kind of helping facilitate these live presentations so that the rest of the group can get to know you guys. And then hopefully you'll get some leads and referrals from these live presentations. And here with me, I have Farmer Karl.
Hello, everyone.
And so we're just going to wait for a couple minutes, probably till 10 o'clock, to wait for a few people to hop on.
Great. Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah.
The Chamber is such a network. It's been great to meet so many people, and they're so friendly.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, a lot of connections to make. And that's kind of why we created this Contacto group too, for the people who can't always make it to every event. We wanted to give them a online space to be able to network. So
Great. And how many members are there in the Ogden-Weber Chamber?
yeah, so last month we had probably like 9 to 11 new members. And I think right now we're up around 840, 850 probably.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot. And our goal for 2023 is to get to 900. So
You're getting there.
yeah, we're well on our way.
For a first year on marketing, you're doing great.
Oh, thank you. It's our team too. Our team is awesome. We all work so hard, and it's a good team.
Did I hear properly that this is the second largest chamber in Utah?
I think so. I think Salt Lake has us beat, but
we're the most active, right?
Maybe. I haven't been to any of the other chamber stuff, but we do a lot of events and a lot of stuff to help our members. So Farmer Karl, you want to talk about your background there, the farm?
Yeah. Well, what you see are two women who were facing homelessness in downtown Salt Lake City, just 6 blocks west of Temple Square. You wouldn't realize, but there's this beautiful green space. That's 1.4 acres. And there were 8 women as part of this family. Mm-hmm. And for 9 months, they worked together, coming to work every day on time and learning how to grow food. And then they eat the food and then they give the food away. And it was transformational. Really neat.
That is awesome. And you said one of the women in that photo was on your guys' board of directors.
Yes, Eve Jackson. She lives in Florida and she is an artist. And part of this program is toward the end of the season, you write your resume for the career and the job that you want. And she was coached in how to apply for artistic graphic design work. And she and her daughter in Florida now.
That is so awesome. That is great. I'm going to go ahead and pop your presentation up on the screen and you can just go ahead and get started.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. This is Farmer Karl. To my friends at the Chamber, you guys are great. And thank you so much for listening in about how farming that relaunches lives. And I really mean that. Weber County has a considerable degree of homelessness. And this approach to empower those facing homelessness has proven effective in many places across the country. And I'm here to share that with you. So, who is Farmer Karl? I am the Mr. Rogers of farming. By the way, he is my hero. And it's because I have seen not only the power of just growing food, but the power it has in transforming and lifting lives. In Philadelphia in 2017, I started working with kids who didn't have parents or had dysfunctional family situations. And for 3 years, those kids came in for a half-an-hour session at the garden in downtown Philadelphia. And I noticed that they transformed, they turned on like light bulbs when they got their hands in the soil and they started growing stuff and looking at bugs. And so after 3 years of this, I said, this is too good to be true. There's something magical about this. And so I've dedicated the rest of my life to farming that's transformational. On the right, the picture that you see there is the Green Phoenix Farm, downtown Salt Lake City, 6 blocks west of Temple Square behind the Gateway Center. And I worked with these amazing women who 6 hours a day, 4 days a week, were rebuilding their lives as they were growing food for themselves and others. So I come from a background as a chemical engineer, 33 years of international experience with DuPont and Axalta Coating Systems. 1 in 3 cars in the world is painted with our paint. And now I've become a dedicated farmer, so teacher and mentor. I wanted to share with you, what is Eden Streets? So at the very core, Eden Streets is an association of farmers with social missions. That means we use farming to reach people, veterans, people coming out of prison, people in homeless situations, and lift their lives. And at the same time, we operate at the city level, at the creating and establishing these farms. So our vision is that we can put farms with social missions everywhere that cultivate vibrant, connected communities. And I've seen that happen with the farms at downtown Salt Lake, and I blogged about these farms across the country. Our mission is to empower communities to grow food, jobs, connections, and hope through farming. And so we've identified 150 of these farms across the United States and even Canada. And we are a membership of 59 and growing. We offer webinars, farm visits, and internships to our members. Now, what is it about farming that is so powerful? And I think this is what I would call the human-centric approach. A lot of times, the programs we have to assist those facing homelessness may not be based on this. And the farm really brings these 4 dimensions of the human together. The first is the physical. So these participants, we call them trainees on the farm, they're eating the food that they're growing. Their diet is improving. They're doing manual work 6 hours a day, 4 days a week. That improves their psychic and their physical condition. It's also a social component of a family, that's what we call us, that comes together. People in the same situation, they learn to support one another and work together. At the same time, the farm helps people see how nature works. They are informed about the cycles of life and reality, and that transforms their perception. The final dimension is their spiritual dimension, that through this experience, they actually are inspired, and there's this sense of transcendence. And so that's what we do from the inside out that helps them transform and relaunch their lives. So this is not just Farmer Karl talking. This is all over the country. Let me tell you, for 30 years, the Homeless Garden Project has been running in Santa Cruz, California, and has taken on 17 people per year, moving them from a situation of homelessness to a situation of employment and stable housing. Not only Santa Cruz, California, but Vancouver, British Columbia. There's 2 books written about soul food street farms and Michael Abelman. 4 acres under cultivation in one of the most beautiful green cities in the North America. Then we have Missoula, Montana, with Garden City Harvest that employ youth that are in trouble with the law, and Salt Lake City, which is working with those women facing homelessness. So what is it at the city and community level? How do we establish these farms? First of all, we start finding and fostering community partnerships, just like the chamber. We try to find out which businesses would be willing to sponsor such a farm. We facilitate contracts for the land leases with the city or whoever's owning the property most appropriate for the farm. We raise the funds, we build and operate the farms, and we supply best practices to those who will operate that farm in the future. And so basically, we set up a nonprofit called Grow Ogden so that that nonprofit can run that farm into the future as a member of Eden Streets. So why do I do this? This is my big why. Those women in there are inspiring to me. Many of them have overcome incredibly difficult situations, trauma, drug abuse, imprisonment, and these women have been relaunched in their lives, transformed. You see that they get paid, they get confidence, they are a family now that support each other even after their farm experience. And they've grown food together and they have hope. That's what motivates them to move forward in their lives. So I wrote a case study for the farm in downtown Salt Lake City. You don't want to read the 50 pages, but let me give you the snapshot. Okay. On 1.4 acres that the City Redevelopment Authority leased to the Wasatch Community Gardens for $1 a year, we used $300,000 to achieve these outcomes. We employed 9 women facing homelessness, and out of that 9 women, 88% of them are now stably housed. 78% were able to find employment that was aligned with their life goals. We produced $111,000 of produce off that farm in the form of seedlings, food, seeds. And then we engaged 510 volunteers, university students, corporate employees that just, when they came on the farm, they were excited. They made 3,000 hours worth of contribution. And we turned this abandoned lot into an environmental wildlife refuge and an environmental education center. So if you look at the community return on investment, for every dollar spent on the farm, $1.72 comes back to the community. How is that possible? Well, these people that were on the streets are now earning money, right? They're paying taxes, they're buying food, okay? So we're saving Utah taxpayer money. We're also producing fresh produce that then can feed those who don't have access to that food. We're saving city taxes, charitable taxes, and there's an environmental benefit on top of this. So let's talk Grow Ogden. Okay, that's what you're here for. You want to know about the farm that's coming to Ogden. Well, here's a map. On the right side, you see that to the left and upper part, the Lantern House, the largest homeless shelter in northern Utah, is right next to the farm, or the farm is right next to the Lantern House. This makes so much sense. These are 2 abandoned lots that the city pays to mow every year, and they have a chain link fence and a lock on them. What we're proposing is to transform this property into food producing forests. You see there's a yoga circle there. There's going to be blocks of planting, a greenhouse, 2 greenhouses eventually, and maybe even a part with a community garden. But I want to emphasize, this is a farm. This is disciplined farming, professional production of lots of food. So you see that there's this resource center, Ogden Resource Center. That is the future project with the city of Ogden that will complement the farm in terms of providing computers, medical help, so that these people facing homelessness can get back into life. So I did cover the what is this plan or program about? Basically, 5 to 10 participants. Right now, we can only do 10 hours per week based on initial funding, but $10 an hour, they get paid, and they do a Nourish program, which is life skill training, and they have an advocate that meets with them one-on-one to resolve any barrier to future employment. So we are targeted to raise $120,000 to get this farm going. That's because the city of Ogden requires that we have at least 2 years of money up front. And those two pie chart diagrams show you $48,000 per year to operate the farm, $29,000 for one-time capital expense startup. Who is our partners at this point? Well, I am proud to say that the Bank of Utah is our fiduciary agent who will watch over the funds that are raised for the farm and make sure that they're spent in an appropriate manner. The Ogden Food Council has sponsored us. You see the others there. Catholic Community Services and the Salvation Army will help with food distribution. So what is my ask of you today? A call to action. You guys are the best ones at acting, and I would like to invite you to participate with me in a presentation I am making to 9 mayors and 3 county commissioners on Monday. Yes, this Monday at 4:30. I have 15 minutes to share this with these mayors and commissioners and get them to approve us applying for grant money to fund the farm. Please show up and be there just to show your support. Secondly, follow Grow Ogden on social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook. And third, be a business sponsor for Grow Ogden. What does that look like? You could be the recipient of this beautiful sticker that will go in your storefront window. Proud sponsor of Grow Ogden. We really think that by contributing to this fund, you are making a difference. You're able to advertise your company as part of this effort, and you're able to offer your employees a way to give back to the community as a volunteer. So I thank you for your listening. I hope you can tell I'm passionate about this. I love what I'm doing because I've seen lives transform. Here's my contact information. Again, the Mr. Rogers of Farming here in Ogden for you today. Thank you.
That was great, Farmer Karl. I just think it's so awesome what you guys do, and it's just such a good mission. We actually need something like that here in Ogden. If anyone who is watching has any comments, please, or any questions, please comment below, and Farmer Karl would love to answer any questions. While we're waiting, Farmer Karl, I have a question.
Yeah.
How did you get started with farming? Because your background wasn't necessarily farming.
Yes. At 10 years old, I grew up in Berks County, Pennsylvania. I don't know if you know that, but there's that's close to where the Amish people farm. So I lived on a farm there, and at 10 years old, I read Organic Gardening magazine from cover to cover. So when I took the 7th grade ASVAB test for career placement, they said, "What do you want to be?" I said, "I want to be a farmer." And they said, the results of the test came back and it said, "You should be a doctor, an engineer." And I was like so upset. I said, I want to be a farmer. So it took me 33 years, but I finally came around to it. I'm a farmer.
That is awesome. So it sounds like it's something you've always been passionate about.
Yeah, always growing stuff. I just got a green thumb. I've got onions that are sprouting in the grow trays in my house. So yeah.
Oh, how exciting. And how long, so this Grow Ogden and all the farms, how long have you been doing this for?
Yes, we started Eden Streets in 2020. The official date of incorporation was December 2020. You know, with the just before the pandemic went, yeah, it was in that time frame. But I had this concept back in 2017 when I was working with the children in Philadelphia.
Hmm. Wow, that's awesome. We have a few comments, no questions, but Tyler Nancolis said, loved this. Thank you, Farmer Karl.
Thank you, Tyler.
Lucy Hinderleiter said she'll be there on the 6th of March to support you.
Awesome. You know, we want to pack the room.
Yeah.
Do you think the heads of our 3 county commissioners and the 9 mayors will turn when they see 100
Uh,
people to 150 people there? We are actually having one of the graduates of the Green Phoenix farm come up, and she's going to try to bring other graduates from the farm to give a 1 to 2 minute testimonial of how important this experience was in their journey back to connection and stability.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. And it's actually for everyone watching, it's here at the chamber, not in the chamber office, but downstairs in the Weber Center. So come stop by and say hi to the chamber staff as well. We have another comment. So Thomas Doxey said, love it. Good job. Ogden's homeless needs programs like this. I hope it brings hope and purpose to those in need.
I love it. Thank you so much. Yes. And the thing is, when you help the lowest or the most needy in the community, all boats rise. You feel happier. You're doing something constructive. There's fresh produce. I think Ogden will be known as an innovative city for addressing homelessness in such an empowering way.
I definitely agree. I think it's very much needed here. Rachel said, what you are doing is amazing. Our community needs this.
Thank you, Rachel. Yes, if you want, become a member of Eden Street. You'll get all the webinars, what's going on across the country on this in this work.
Awesome. Well, Farmer Karl, you have a ton of support from your fellow chamber members, and we will try to make it there on Monday. It's always awesome to watch you present. I just love this mission, and I'm so happy to be able to support you and to be able to have made a connection with you through the chamber. So thank you for presenting today.
You're welcome. And Jessica, my kudos and thanks to you for making this possible. Amazing technology, and the chamber's in good hands with you leading marketing. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you all for tuning in to watch Farmer Karl present. And again, if you have any questions or you'd just like to do a one-on-one with him, his contact info is up here on the screen. He's the nicest person ever, and you'll love talking to him. So thank you all for joining us today.
You're welcome, everyone. Have a good one. See you Monday.
Bye.
Bye.